Good evening. Welcome to my talk on healing and the Course in Miracles. As I promised last week, the topic for tonight is the steps of the Atonement. Now, first, let's clear up something. Atonement, as per the Course in Miracles, means correction, means undoing our mistaken thoughts, which are based on the thought of separation from each other and from our source. The Course in Miracles consists of 1200 pages, as I have mentioned before. About half of those pages are lessons for 1 year. That's the reason why this course is a practical course in mind training, spiritual psychology. Some people call it spiritual psychology. It does not matter. What matters is to understand that we can be helped. We are all in trouble. Some are in more trouble than others, depending on the times of the day also. And that moment in our lives where things go okay or bad or so and so or beautiful. The steps of the Atonement help us, give us the meat, the beef, so to speak, by which we can apply what we are learning in the 1200 pages of the Course in Miracles. So the Atonement is then the way to correct our erroneous thoughts of separation. All right? Now, nowhere in the Course in Miracles gives these steps on one page and as much in a nutshell as I am going to give to you. But believe me, they are there. These steps are in the Course in Miracles. You will find them as you go through the course. It may take you many years. But I must say that we are all very lucky. The new students that are coming into the course now are very lucky. Well, whatever luck means. Because when I started about 12 years ago, there were very few people that had read the Course in Miracles. So which means that we were all starting on our own from the beginning, and there were practically no books written on the course. But since then, a lot of people, a lot of students have really got seriously involved with the Course in Miracles. And they have all put down in written form books or tapes that can help us. We are all students. Even the ones that have written books are still studying. This course is for life. The applications is for life. So it is very important that we understand the steps of the Atonement and when to apply them. By the way, one of these students of the Course in Miracles, I have learned a lot from this person, has been involved with the course since the beginning. With a woman also that described the course, Helen Schuckman. Helen Schuckman died a few years ago, but The person that I want to mention is Dr. Kenneth Wapnick. Certainly no serious student of the Course in Miracles can or should avoid reading his books, because his books and his tapes are very, very important. They are a very important addition to the Course in Miracles. But no book is a replacement for the Course. So what I'm saying is that we are all here to help each other, and certainly Dr. Ken Wapnick has helped me a lot. And I hope that I can help others too. Now, the Course is a practical course in mind training. Some of you who are perhaps listening to me for the first time, or even those who may be involved with the Course and never heard the expression mind training, although it's written in the Course, would say, wow, this is brainwashing stuff. Let me say that the Course in Miracles is not a cult, it's not a religion. It is a self-study course. And if you consider this brainwashing, I have some news for you. We have been brainwashed for millions of years since we have been on earth by our wrong-mindedness. All right? Wrong-mindedness, that part of our mind, that the little self that keeps us enchained, so to speak. That does not want us to realize that there is something else. Something far more beautiful than being in prison and being unhappy, in pain, uncomfortable, and in chains. Okay? So mind training is another way, another form of saying open mind is a course in mind training by which it helps you to open your mind so that you don't just limit your thoughts to a certain narrowness by which you see only shadows and do not let anything else help you. All right? So what are these 1200 pages telling us? That when we are in trouble, it doesn't matter how much. The Course in Miracles, the text starts by telling us there is no order of the difficulty of miracles. You can heal cancer the same way that you can heal a bad relationship with your spouse or with your friend. All right? The problem comes from the same root. It's all in the mind, and we can get help to solve it. For some of us, it may take more time than for others. It does not matter. What is important is that we recognize we need help, and we start by asking for help. So what do we do then? We read this book, we try and apply it, and how do we apply it? Okay, so here comes the steps of the atonement, which I have divided into 5 steps. Every time we have uncomfortable thoughts, we may not know where they come from. We usually project them into somebody else. Somebody makes us angry, very, very, very angry. We are sometimes fearful. Oh, if you live in New York, you are fearful of walking in the streets. Watch out after a certain time at night in the subway. So right there we know it's fear. Sometimes we do not know it is fear. You may get mad at somebody because we think this person has really made us very, very unhappy. The Course says that the root of all evil is fear. And we have to undo that fear. So atonement means not only the correction of our erroneous thoughts, but also the undoing of them, not by attacking or destroying. And this is very important, because sometimes people who are listening, even those that have already been involved with the Course, sometimes they think, I want to do something to kill the lower self. You don't do that. You cannot kill anything. You don't kill. I want to do something to destroy this part of my mind. No, you do not do that. I was talking last week about anger being a two-edged sword. You think you're doing something to somebody else or something else, but it comes back to you. So this is why the steps of the atonement have to do with the undoing of our erroneous thoughts. Another way of saying is the correction of our erroneous thoughts, and I must add, not by attacking, not by destroying, but by asking for help from our higher self in order to do this. This is why the moment when you are angry or mad or fearful, whatever, at that moment there is a chance to apply the 5 steps that I'm now going to give you. The first step is optional. I say it is optional because the Course in Miracles does not mention anything about breathing and breath. Course in Miracles does not approach it this way. I use it because I have been also a yoga teacher, and I know the importance of breath. When we are very tense and very uptight, our breath changes. That we all know. So when we are going to try and relax, it's very important that we start with the breath. So the step number 1 is, first of all, we never ask to change our minds without relaxing and ask our highest self for help. Now, you can ask God, you can ask the Holy Spirit, you can ask Jesus Christ if you wish, you can ask the Christ, you can ask the light. Use the image that you are most comfortable with. Why? Because in the end it does not matter. There is only one of us here, and there is only one helper. Words do not matter.